The true cost of what we buy. Every year, India sees the launch of over 1000 new retail brands, adding to millions of brands globally. Each brand, on average, creates approximately 1000 new styles annually, with about 30% of old stock often ending up as waste. Last year, Sheen, the women fashion sale alone, created 1.3 million styles. Many companies falsely claim to be eco friendly, a practice known as greenwashing. They use green and brown packaging, nature symbols like leaves and trees, and vague phrases like 80% recyclable to mislead customers. Without proper certifications and clear labels, it is hard to know which product is truly sustainable. The food industry requires clear ingredient labels. Similar transparency is needed for products that harm the environment. Most of us do not think about the carbon footprint of our shopping habits because not everyone knows what it means, and companies are not mandated to share that information with customers. A carbon footprint refers to the total amount of harmful gases like carbon dioxide released into the air from actions like production or delivery. Easy returns and no questions asked policies encourage wasteful buying. Every return adds to carbon emissions, making climate change worse. Up to 24 million metric tons of CO2 emissions are attributed to e commerce returns each year. To offset this carbon, at least 500 million trees would be needed. Plastic pollution is not just about bags and bottles. Microplastics, that is, tiny plastic particles, are found in oceans, soil, air, and even in our bodies. The largest source of these microplastic is not single use plastics but synthetic clothing. Washing these clothes contributes about 35% of global microplastic pollution. Everyday items like cosmetics, glitter, and tires also add to the problem. T-shirt probably took 2700 liters of water to make, that is enough drinking water for one person for approximately 912 days. From the mountains of clothes in our closets to the mountains of waste in our landfills, our shopping habits are quietly creating an environmental crisis that is becoming impossible to ignore. Microplastic harms our bodies, and rising temperatures threaten wildlife and ecosystems. If we don't change today's habits, will create tomorrow's crisis. Every bottled product on a supermarket shelf has synthetic materials either in the packaging or ingredients. Businesses must handle waste better and take responsibility for the afterlife of their products. Marketers use clever tactics to make us buy more. Brands create urgency with phrases like buy now and limited time offer or misleading discounts like 50% off up to rupees 80, which just means rupees 80 off. First, use what you already have, then consider thrifting or buying second hand if possible. Make it yourself, and finally, buy only if absolutely necessary. This approach helps us avoid impulsive buying and use resources more wisely. Another way is to follow a 21-day rule. Add an item in your cart and forget about it. If you still need it after 21 days, then go ahead and buy it. Thank you very much. Up to 21 million metric tons of CO2 emissions are attributed to e-commerce returns each year. To offset this carbon, at least 500 million trees would be needed. OFFCT offset means to balance one effect against the opposite effect. First, use what you already have. Then consider thrifting or buying second hand. If possible, make it yourself. Thrifting. THRIFTING. Thrifting means buying goods from a thrift store. Thrift store means a shop in which charity sells goods, often used ones given by public. Thanks for listening.